I'm going to do a quick garden update. This is the raised bed that's in front of the screened-in porch. I didn't do anything with this summer. It was just too hot. I was having all kinds of problems. I couldn't even keep up with what I had, so this pretty much sat almost the entire summer and grew weeds. Weeds that look like purslane, but they're not, so I might have some major weed issues in this bed. This is some of the perennials. We got lovage. We have, this is bee balm here that's dead. And this is one pineapple sage plant. It's so large that it's fallen over. It's about 6 feet high, 6 feet wide. It's about 150 bees on it. This bed here was the bed last year I tried to do the biochar field trial in, and there's just nothing grew. There was a pH problem or something, I'm not really sure. So I took the majority of the soil out. I re-put, there's 24 2-gallon buckets, those buckets right there, of coffee grounds in the bottom. I have compost that I have to mix it on top. And then we're going to try to replant it. This is the neglected pepper bed here. There's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of peppers on here. It's the end of October. I would fertilize them, but I have so many peppers I don't even know what to do with them. So I'm just going to let them grow off the next couple weeks and then plant something else. This is my, you might have seen this in a past video. These are the strawberry plants that I transplanted. There's maybe 120 or so strawberry plants, and they've all taken off. Some of them have actually separated again. So there was 9 in here. So it looks like there's even more, like 9 in each one, and then down here most of them took. I transferred a couple of them that were just randomly growing. This, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice this is the bed that had all the this was the kale bed, and then the kale all got killed off by harlequin bugs, and then the clover took over, and I just let the clover grow, and then I just took it out today. So this was, we had a late, it got cold, it started cooling off, so I thought, well, I'll grow lettuce, and all the lettuce bolted a couple weeks ago. But things that do grow really well here are the Swiss chard. I mean, look at the size of, put in perspective, I mean, that's my arm. Some of these are over 2 feet tall. You know, these are the ones that I got from Bonnie Plants, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 weeks ago. I can get the exact date. I'll put that in the bottom. These are the ones that I transplanted from the bed that was having the problems with 10 weeks ago. And so these are with the raspberries. I mean the blackberries. And look at the size of some of these. Some of these are 2.5, 3 feet tall. I had no hope for these. I transplanted them, hoping that they would do something. I'm gonna get over here so there's no sun. These are the blueberry bushes. So the blueberries are at the end of the season. I put down about 6 more inches of pine mulch. This is 9 plants, so they're doing really well. What people have a hard time understanding is we get less sun here in the south. So the sunchokes are done. The sunchokes have been done here for a couple weeks. They're all officially dead now. This is the surprise. This is the asparagus bed. This thing is absolutely crazy. These, I don't know if they're heirlooms or if they're hybrids, so I don't know if I can save the seeds, or I would, because I have both female and male plants. These are 2-year-old crowns, and they're about, I'm 6 feet tall, so some of these are almost 6 feet tall. We have more strawberries here. I have more strawberries to transplant. These first 3 rows here are everbearing. I lost 60 of the 75. It just got extremely hot. I got them when it was cooling off. I planted them and they just cooked in the sun. These other ones are also transplants from the other bed. This whole entire bed will end up being filled with strawberries. I've given up trying to do tomatoes here. They don't work. So here's another view of the asparagus bed. This is the other blueberries. I started with 100. There's maybe 60 or 70 left. We had, again, extremely hot. Some of them were in poor condition when I got them. I don't know what the expectation is from doing 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old transplants, how, you know, what the success rate should be. I got at least 50%. I don't know the exact rate. It seems like everything along the side here died. But I don't know, did the biochar help? I don't know. The biochars, the ones in the middle, I don't know. It's too early to tell if they helped. This was tomatoes and tomatillos, and then now it's my dried out corn that we're going to use for decoration. I got a massive red anthill there I got to do something with. I don't know what to do with it yet. This was where the corn was growing. This is pretty much probably 30% biochar. And then I topped it off with more composted biochar. This is a super high biochar bed. Most likely I'm going to plant garlic or shallots there. This was the other 50 strawberries I started. As you can tell, the majority of them got cooked to a crisp. Here's that plant that looks like purslane. This is probably already given off 1,000 seeds. I pull these things out every single day. I just can't keep up with them. So I tried buying roots. They all had growths, and then I just literally couldn't water it enough. So, oh well. This bed here is about to have perennial onions. It was the green beans a couple weeks ago. You might have seen a video with the green beans that were in here. This is yarrow. If anybody's local and needs yarrow, I have more than enough. This was 5 plants. They produce, 7 or 8 billion seeds. And yeah, no shortage of yarrow. This is more weeds I'm still trying to get rid of. I suck at getting rid of weeds. This is the Egyptian walking onions. They've started regrowing from last year. I never pulled any of the bulbs out. I'm trying to grow super bulbs. So what I've heard is if you leave these in the ground for 2 or 3 years, you end up with this massive amount of bulbs. So we have the elderberry here. The elderberry is pretty much done for the year. I'm going to try to do cuttings from this and see what I can do from there. So in those empty beds, I'm going to have some beets started from seeds. I'm going to do some lettuce. A lot of that will be spinach. And so that's all over there. It'll be all spinach. Over here will be, like I said, the onions and the garlics. This probably gets the most amount of sun, and I've never planted those here yet. So this whole area will be that area. This is all mint. It doesn't do as well over here, but we're getting there. And this is my pathetic excuse for growing comfrey. I was afraid I was going to take over, so I never put it in the ground, and it doesn't do well in pots. I may transplant this in a week. I might just transplant it now and let it see if it'll grow out through the winter, because this stuff will pretty much die off when it gets cold. Need to keep track of it so I know what it is when it comes up, so I don't pull it out as a weed. And that's about it. I thought that planting these lettuces underneath the asparagus, since it was so hot when I planted them, would be a great idea because it was so hot and it would cover them from the sun. But there's so much shade that they just got leggy. And it's weird. These last 2 asparagus here don't do as well. But then I don't know, like this one just like totally went nuts. I mean, there's 10 or 12 spikes going on there. So I don't know what to expect. I guess the ones that come out that are smaller, you just leave them, let them go till next year and get more established. It's kind of dark. I don't know if you can see anything. So I got the rest of the strawberries planted. So this is the bed before that was half planted with strawberries. And then this is the bed before that had that big pile of dirt, and I said I had to level it out. It's all leveled out. I added some vermiculite. I put the sprinklers back in so they can soak the bed back down, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it'll work. This bed's ready to go.